Okay guys, so here's my notebook. I took the Earth's interior words and I glued them to the top of the page, and then I added a little bit more of information. I put that this is the geosphere, and specifically this is going to show Earth's layers. So the way that I did this gluing is I started with the smallest circle and I glued that one down first, and that's the inner core. So I wrote 3 facts. Obviously I can't write them on the circle's too small. But so I wrote that the core is extremely hot, it's made of metals, and then in parentheses I added specifically iron and nickel, and that it's solid because of the extreme pressure that's on it. Even though it's very hot and we would think that it would melt and be liquid, all of that pressure keeps it condensed to a solid. On top of that one, so when I'm gluing, like I leave this, I actually folded my circles all in half, and I only placed glue on the back half of them. So all of these halves do not have any glue, just the ones to the left. So on top of that, I glued this next larger circle, and this one is the outer core. And I was able to fit my facts on the circle this time. Little tight, but I made it work. So first of all, the outer core is liquid. It's made of metal, same thing as the inner core, iron and nickel. And then for the third fact, I put no human could travel here. It's too hot and it's too far. For my next layer, same thing. I've only got the left side of that circle glued down. And this next layer is the mantle. And my 3 facts are that it's hot, semi-solid rock. So it's like, a lot of scientists often compare it to like clay. It's separated, my second fact is that it's separated into layers. There's the asthenosphere and the lithosphere. The asthenosphere is lower. It's closer to the center of the Earth. And then the lithosphere is like the top outer layer around the mantle. So it would be like this part here closer to the edge. And it says the lithosphere is a layer just below the Earth's crust. And so now when I turn to this last part, this is the crust. So just below the crust of the Earth is the lithosphere, which is that outer layer of the mantle. And then here's the crust. The crust is the thinnest layer. It's hard and solid, and it's thicker under the continents, and we call that continental crust, and it's thinner under the oceans, and we call that oceanic crust. One of the ways to remember this is that if you think about the continents, we have things like hills and mountains, and so think about how thick the crust is underneath a mountain. I mean, some mountains are thousands of feet tall, or hundreds and thousands. So that's obviously going to be a lot thicker than the crust that's underneath the ocean. The crust that's underneath the ocean will actually go to lower depths. And then on top of that is my outside showing the oceans and the continents.